Hi, it's Craig. In the previous video, I demonstrated the standing plank exercise. It's a great way to strengthen the core and practice activating your core anytime, anywhere. So today I want to go into a little more detail and talk about and show how and why to incorporate the idea of the standing plank and core activation into so many of our movements throughout our lives. So let's get to it. I want you to keep in mind that so many of the people I talk to about their low back attacks, when that pain really kicks in, it's not triggered because they're trying to lift or move something heavy. It can be triggered for something as simple as leaning over or just twisting. And that's why the standing plank is so important. You see, when we're getting ready to lift something, we, for the most part, prepare for that effort. Now, in some cases, we do that incorrectly, which can cause long-term damage. We'll talk about that in the next video. But just simply leaning or twisting, that unexpected strain on the back muscles can really take you out. So here I am at the sink, and I'm going to be one long board or plank from the ankles to the top of my head, and I'm going to lean in using the countertop as an assist on my standing plank. Leaning in, locking in the core while I do my dishes or wash my hands or chat with my family. Now, this could get fatiguing, so if you need to, you can just relax, of course, for a moment. You can get back into your ever so comfortable slouch position, but don't stay there long. Come back to good posture. You can get much closer to the sink, and you can even put your knees and upper legs, your thighs or quads, up against the cabinet below. Now, that might incorporate some other muscles around the glutes that might not be ready for such a load, so just be careful about that as well. The other thing I want to highlight here is reaching up into the cabinet to put dishes away or pull dishes down. You want to make sure you are standing tall, anchored through the core, keeping this standing plank idea in place. Maybe use the countertop. Now I'm reaching up here, I'm locked in here, I'm on my tippy toes, I'm not a tall guy, and I'm grabbing some dishes out of my cabinet. And I'm keeping core activated the whole way through, and when I'm putting them back, the same thing goes. So critical for keeping our back safe and helping us move more strongly throughout our lives. Let's go around the house and see what else we can find to incorporate this idea. I use the standing plank when I'm shaving. Or just putting on makeup. And definitely when you're reaching into your car. That really helps. Okay, so there are just a few examples of how we can incorporate the standing plank idea into the movements throughout our lives, and that's just the stuff around the house. One more thing I want to highlight. Sometimes you have to actually bend over, right? I've been talking about leaning through the ankles, but sometimes you have to take the upper body and move it over beyond the waist. Now, we should always try to keep the upper body balanced and a level above the hips and the waist, but sometimes you have to lean over or bend over, and it's so important to keep your core active when you do that. Now, the Low Back Repair Manual goes into way more detail about why that's so important, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that in the next video. But for now, I want you to just keep in mind the standing plank exercise. Incorporate that into your movements. Really lean strongly through life. That'll keep you moving smarter and living stronger. Until next time.